This is Damon Stevens with Finwell Builders. Today is Wednesday, June 29th, 2022, and the stock market update for trades of the day. And it was pretty much flat day today, but definitely a great day for scalpers. Great ranges today on stocks. So if you're a scalper, you probably had a great day. If not, then your day may have been a little boring, a little bit of action in the morning first thing. But after that, it's pretty real flat for the day. We're also coming to end of quarter and end of month, so it's something to pay attention to, as well as some news that's coming out tomorrow. So let's get into it, see what's going on and what we plan for tomorrow and as we wrap up this week. And also remember, Friday's a half day in the market, so the market closes down early for the 4th of July weekend, which means the market's also closed on Monday. All right, looking at the Dow Jones closed up 0.27%, NASDAQ down 0.03%, and S&P 500 down 0.07%. So really flat. You can see this chop, and definitely saw it, but this is where your opportunities are as a scalper. And we'll get into some charts and show you what we're talking about. But even when the markets are flat, there's still opportunities, even if you are a trader and not just an investor. Looking at the market, you see here some of our FANG stocks did well. Google pulled down. We talked about that last night. It looked, bearish, and it obviously was. So we'll look at these others, but kind of a mixed bag here. Energy had, obviously money flowing back out of energy. Had a pullback in energy today. So, that's to be expected. Hopefully, it'd be great if we could see gas prices come down here at some point, but and oil prices. But we will see. We'll see what's going to happen. Let's get some news and some charts here now. We get on Thursday, we have PCE inflation data coming out. And this is coming out pre-market 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. So this could definitely affect the market on the open. So if you're watching pre-market and get prepared for the day, just make sure you watch the market and watch the VIX. If we get some the VIX spiking here and some volatility, it could set the tone for the market, and we could possibly have some down momentum going into this next day. And really this next day, more likely, if it's if you're looking at institutional traders, they're going to probably be trying to wrap up this Thursday, so tomorrow. So if they want to run the bulls up so they can cash out, then they're going to try to do that tomorrow, more likely than Friday. And if they're okay with where they're at now, or they want to drive the market down and close out some of their positions, that's a possibility too. So that's why we got to kind of really watch and see what they want to do and where these market makers are going to take us, this next day or two. All right, so let's look at, this is the call and put ratio. You can see here, came down a little bit, puts to calls, 1.3 puts to each call. You can see here that it's kind of evenly spread out here for puts. That really they kind of come in starting around 370, and then you have these a block here at 390 of calls and 400. So 400 is the big ticket here. You see here we're kind of hovering around at that 380, which is key support for breaking down and going short on the market versus going long on the market. So right flat today and right at support and resistance. So this is kind of a decision point right here. Looking at max pain, if the market can get the market to go up to 385, that creates the greatest losers for options trading and the great gain for the market. So the market makers would love to be able to get the market to drive up to 385. Doesn't mean that's for sure what's going to happen, as you've seen multiple times. What the market makers want, and what happens sometimes is different. So. But this just is an indication of where, where the market may be trying to go to as a destination. All right, so let's get into live market right now. So S&P 500, the ES 15-minute chart here. Here's what I want to show you scalping. So with a flat market, here's where your opportunities are. You can see here on our pivots, 38.21, 38.35, 38.14. 38.12, 38.40. So see each of these as we go up and back and forth from our lower band and our upper band, there's opportunity to buy at the bottom band, ride it up to the top band, sell it, come back down, reload or short it all the way back to the lower band, get back in, take it back up to the upper band, all the way back down lower band, all the way back up. So this is scalping. This is getting in and out of trades. And on a 15-minute chart, you can see here, you're looking at pretty well, 3 to 5 to 10 candles. So that means, hour or couple hours to get, a move all the way from one side to the other. You definitely don't want to buy or sell in here. I mean, you can. You definitely want to be shorting the market at this area here at the upper bands, or buying or selling at the market at the lower bands here. Just because, if you get in here and you're buying stock in here, you don't know if it's going to go up or down. Your risk to reward is horrible, because you got a 50-50 chance of which direction it's going to go. But down here, you have, a probability of at least, 85% or better probably that it's going to go back up, and vice versa up here. So you have a lot better chance of trading those extremes. So just a little bit of a trading tip, a little opportunity here in the market. I did some of that today, and if you did as well, then hopefully that worked out well for you today. Looking at the S&P 500 E-mini on a one-day chart, you see we're 2 days flat, and we're right underneath this candle, which means we could chase down this next candle, which means we're coming into like 378, and if we break down, we could come down even lower. So that's just something to pay attention to here, on the open. Do we get up above this candle and start climbing this candle, or do we break down below and head down towards the next candle? Google, here you can see here we're flat under this candle. That's more bearish, and we're below the 20 as well. So look for a possible pull down here to 2188. If we can get back above and break the 20 in the morning, 2258, then maybe we start to climb this candle. But that's what we're looking at for tomorrow. Amazon, climbing up this candle here, so that's good. We can see if we can climb the rest of it, possibly here by the end of the week. If so, then that puts us around 113 area. If we break below this candle, then obviously we're going to chase back down towards the lows. Apple, very flat. So we'll see what happens. It's on a 5-minute, but I want to show you this as well for scalping. So here's the highs on this channel, so you can sell short here, buy back at like this 138.70 and buy back in, go up to 140, sell, and then short it all the way back down to 138.94, sell it, buy it back long up to 140. So you can see, just kind of go back and forth, back and forth. So you could just sit here and just wait. You don't just sit in cash or wait for the market to turn the direction that you want it, you're hoping it'll go. But if you do want to trade, this is where you can trade. Just make sure, again, you're buying outside these upper or lower bands and not inside the middle. So here's our Apple on one day. So see here, Apple again, right here at the bottom. I do like that it closed the candle at the top. So that's more bullish to try to run up here and possibly, close this candle out at 143. So we'll see if we can get a rally out of Apple. Nvidia, bottom of the candle and bottom of these lows. So if Nvidia breaks this low here, we could come down to our trend line here to 147. If we break that, it's a long way down. 121 would be our band down here. So hopefully Nvidia can hold this level. All right, so you can see here right within this candle, kind of right in the middle, kind of flat though, it's doji, so it can go either way. Breaking below 160 is for the downside move, above 169 or 170 for an upward move. Tesla, I want to show you here on the 5 minutes. So then this is upward sloping, towards the day. So, 9 o'clock in the morning. You see here we're at the low at the bottom of our bands, 167, and then we kind of go right up here to the upper band. We pull back to the center area, back up to the upper band at 687, pull back and continue to climb. So as long as we continue to climb above the 20-day moving average, you can stay in there. That's very bullish. And you can also, if you do want to trade these bands levels, you can do that as well. if you want to get out, or maybe you missed the entry and you want to get back in. When it pulls back here and touches this 20 and checks in, that's your next move up. So again, just a little tip on trading. On daily chart here, you can see that Tesla really is kind of in this downward chop right here. So we kind of came down, up and down right through here. So we're kind of headed down. We're below this support level here around 700. So, do we come back down to 628? That's a 620 area. It's possible. So look at the open in the morning. If we're above 685, look for a run back up towards the top of this candle. If we're not, then look for a possible, trail back down to 650. And if the market's bad enough, 621 would be the next level support. Definitely like our video, subscribe, and help us out. And that way we can continue to bring this content to you. And if you have not already, definitely go out to finwealthlive.com where you can find a link to our Discord. We post numbers before the market opens on what we're trading and when our entries and our exits are. We also have at finwealthlive.com. We also have some free training out there as well, and some other services. Looking at the dollar index here, you can see here we're just working our way up towards the tops again. So we're kind of right here, flat, right at this last top here, but we haven't quite reached this 105.778 or 788. So that would be the next goal. So we'll see. Since we did stop at the top of the candle, it can go either way. So if we're bullish tomorrow morning when we break out, head up towards this 106 area. If we break below into this candle zone here, then look for a retracement back, 104. Gold continue trending down. So just continue to watch this as it continues to trend down until we get some type of movement for the breakout. US oil, nice little pullback here. You can see here we had pulled back here. We came back up to the 20-day, and now we're back below it again, and kind of in this range between the 20 and the 50-day moving average. So we got to break the 50 down to the short, or we can get above the 20 again to take this long. The VIX, we talked about this wedge again. So we're kind of chopping back and forth here. And we're coming down here. We bounced off that 100-day moving average. And then we got it back pegged above the 20, pulled back down. So between the 20 and the 50. So really, we're at a level decision here. So if it gets above 29 tomorrow, look for a possible downside on the market. If we pull back and we can break down below this 50-day and head towards 27, 26, then we can get possibly a rally and get some movement on the upside. But right now, the only thing that makes me concerned is that you can see the VIX continues to hug the bottom here. So, but we are still in a wedge, so it could still kind of chop back and forth. So definitely gotta watch that. S&P 500. So this is just some statistics here that kind of show you S&P 500 versus the VIX and volatility here in 2022. And so here's kind of the June 13th, and you see that's kind of pulling down here. So kind of keep an eye on this to see, seasonally, what happens. And typically by mid-July, between now and mid-July, we should see some type of rally kickoff, at least a short-term rally. But that's, pending any news and any major issues. But, we have midterm elections coming in. So typically that can create some positivity in the market because, obviously because people want to stay in office. So we'll see what that brings as we get closer to that. But just definitely expect a lot of volatility this next month here in July with everything that's going on with the market, with the economy, with the mid-year elections and everything else. There's going to be a lot of volatility. So just expect that. Looking at the SPY. So here's again, I want to show you the scalping opportunity here. So it's a little bit of training again. So when you got flat markets like this, like the SPY today, this is on a 10-minute chart. 378.42 is the lower band. 382.27, back down to 378.45, back up to 381.71, and then we kind of just flattened out for the rest of the day. But you can see here, definitely opportunities here on these bands. Just make sure again you're buying on the outer ends of the bands and not in the middle. Here's one day. You can see one day here. We're just kind of flat underneath this bar, so that's more bearish. We're right here where we can fill a gap. So, do we come fill this gap here at 378 and bounce? Or do we continue coming down here and maybe flow clear down to 365 and fill both these gaps that we have here? So something to look for. If we get, break up above this candle, then that would be very bullish, 390. And then above there, we have another gap above that to fill. Right now, though, with the market ending at the bottom of this candle and on the bottom of its own candle, that's more bearish. So we'll see what happens when the market opens, but looking like more of a down day than an up day right now. So looking at the weekly, you can see here, we're kind of working our way down towards what we talked about there at the beginning of the week on our Sunday video, working our way back down to this candle. So I don't know if we'll come down all the way, but we may come back down to the lower part of our trend line here, our deviation bands. So that puts, that 378 area. So if we can hold 378, maybe we can bounce off. If we don't, then we could be breaking down to lower levels and hit some lows again. On a monthly, I want to show you this too as well. This little blue line here is where we're closed. This is last week. So you can see last week, we're right at the bottom, right at the tip, right on the very bottom of that prior week's candle. So if we bounce from here, we could climb back up this candle. But if we don't, and we come back down here towards where we were at the lows, then we're going to be, filling this candle in here. And that'll definitely break, whatever support level last week held will be gone. And we'll basically be trying to find a new support level here, which will probably be around 361 or 340 if it gets, if the pullback is big enough. Triple Qs, again, bottom of the candle, weakness, very small, little doji. So definitely looking for more likely a pull down tomorrow than to pull up. IWM, you see here we're at the bottom of the candle, right within this this gap here. So obviously we could very well fill that gap and maybe move down even lower here. But right now, looking again, we're bearish right now based on where the candle closes are. Looking at financials, again, the bottom candle, halfway, almost more than halfway down this candle. So obviously, the goal may be around 31 here on this financials. Healthcare had this nice rally up, had resistance, been there 2 days now, sitting up here at resistance. Just trying to hold it. And so if we can hold this, maybe we can break back up and start running again. If we can hold to that 128 level. If not, we may be pulling back towards 126 or 125. Energy sector, we talked about this pullback right down here on our lower deviation bands. So hopefully we can bounce off here and hold this. You see we broke it, but we came back up to it. So we'll see if we hold this one and can bounce off at some point. All right, so Bitcoin, you see here, kind of curling down. We're below our support line. So we really need to get back above, that 20,500 mark to hold. If not, we could come back to revisit, 19,000, 18,000, come back down to this range and retest again. So Ethereum, same thing, curling down. So that's very negative. So we'll see. We're right in this candle area here. So it's very easy for this to come down and retest, down to 1,000 or less. So that's our stocks, our cryptos, things we're watching for tomorrow. Our short list, definitely, get into get in and join us at finwealthlive.com for a Discord. That we can bring you some numbers in the morning as far as what we're trading and what levels, as well as, take advantage of that training out there, and then join us again here where we can update you on what's going on in the marketplace. And again, Friday, the market's partial day. We'll be doing a video tomorrow night as well. We'll talk about the trades tomorrow, plan out our Friday. Safe trading out there. Have a great night and take care.